Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha with Ice Cream Fitness here. Today I want to talk to you guys about DOMS or muscle soreness and the problems with actually trying to induce this during your workouts. But hold on, let me give you guys a bicep shot first. Alright, first of all, if your training program is correct and you're on a properly written training protocol to make maximum progress, you should only be getting sore early on in your training or very early in adapting to a new program. If you've been using a program for several weeks or you've been training hard at least 6 months and you are regularly getting sore, you need to fire whoever wrote your routine for you. Now, a lot of guys will say things such as, well, I try to train to get sore, or I consider soreness to be a sign of an effective workout. And that is complete bullshit. There's no scientific reason to even think that. What soreness or DOMS represents is either that you've injured yourself in some way or that you are not properly adapting or conditioned to the type of training you are doing. It's usually caused by things like training a body part or a lift, and therefore some of the muscles involved in it, too infrequently, which is one of the reasons body part splits, which we know scientifically are way too infrequent most of the time for drug-free lifters, cause soreness for this reason, because you're not properly adapted or conditioned to actually training those muscles regularly. And actually what you find on very high frequency training when you're squatting 2 or 3 times a week is that you stop getting sore very, very quickly, even if you used to get sore every time you would squat, if they're done correctly. It's also caused by training to failure all the time, which is something I've covered in other videos, and we know that training to failure isn't particularly useful for the most part for gaining size or strength, and very, very few successful athletes train to failure on any sort of regular basis. There are situations where they use it as a tool, but it's not something they would do every time they go into the gym. Doing things like excessive eccentric loading can cause it, which we also know doesn't produce any better growth stimulation to do really, really slow negatives. Just a controlled negative is all you need, but doing lots of very heavy eccentric based training with 4 and 5 and 6 second negatives will cause soreness. And that doesn't help you grow either. So there's no reason for you to be pursuing this. And if you are getting sore, there's probably something wrong with your training programming. Or you need to be deloading. It's not something that should be seen as a positive. Then on top of that, there's a psychological aspect to consider. If you want to make gains, it takes years of hard work for most people to really get impressive results. And you need to be consistent and stay the course. And if you are engaging in a style of training that you know is going to make you sore for a day or 2 or even 3 days every time you do it, you are going to be less motivated to stay consistent in the long term. You don't want to be getting sore, be sore every day of your life for the next 2 or 3 or 5 years. And it's going to impact your motivation at some point. Even if you're really gung-ho about it for a while, at some point it's going to impact your motivation. And it's going to start subconsciously playing with your head, and it's going to make you want to push less hard when you're in the gym so that you don't get sore. So there are negative psychological aspects to consider. And remember, training and most of the things that we do is there to improve your quality of life in some way, not to negatively impact it. And being sore all the time doesn't have a positive impact on your overall life. So, in short, soreness should never be seen as a positive thing or something that you should be aspiring to achieve with your training. Alright guys, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you next time.